is that when they brought us from Africa, or when we came from what we know as the Middle East, some of us was dropped off in America, some of us was dropped off in Jamaica, some of us was dropped off in Ecuador, El Salvador, Mexico, Peru, Belize. But the only difference was where the slave ship stopped and dropped the people off at. We all come from what we know today as the Middle East. That's your wife? Oh, your sister? Okay. So you let her go. All right, so he asked you a question, and he asked you a very important question, though. Which one of these 12 sons do y'all people come from? And when I say your people, it sounds like I'm making a difference between us. You too. Wait. What are you doing? What's your name? Johnny. Where do you see yourself in this son, Johnny, and where do you see yourself, Sebastian? Mexican, right? What does it mean? What does Mexican mean, though? I'm saying, but words have a meaning. What do you see yourself in the sign? Judah? Okay. So, here's the thing, Sebastian. What's your name again? Johnny. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Here's the thing, my brother Sebastian. I'm sorry, ma'am. You interrupted our conversation. Here's the thing, Sebastian. The so-called black people in America and the Hispanic people in South America are all the same people. We're all the same people. You know what the difference is between us and our Spanish brothers? Is that when they brought us from Africa, or when we came from what we know as the Middle East, some of us was dropped off in America, some of us was dropped off in Jamaica, some of us was dropped off in Ecuador, El Salvador, Mexico, Peru, Belize. But the only difference was where the slave ship stopped and dropped the people off at. We all come from what we know today as the Middle East, Africa, so that y'all can understand. You with me? Now I asked you, Sebastian, what does Mexico mean? You didn't know, but words have a meaning. African American. That's not your heritage. What's your nationality if I ask you? How is that? How can you be African and American though? Right. Mexico, if I remember right, means place of the moon. Are you a moon? Are you a moon? So that doesn't make sense, does it? So, who are you before the history of Mexico? Give me Job 8:8. Who are you? You see how that doesn't make any sense? America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. He was a white man. Africa is named after Leo Scipio Africanus. He was a white man too. So how can we be named after these white men or moons, things, and everybody else has a nationality, a heritage, customs, laws, tradition, but meanwhile the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't have that. We're the only people that don't know who we are. That's a problem, Sebastian. That's a problem, Johnny. That's a problem. What's your name? Christian, that's a problem. Because if I was to go to the Chinese place and get some wings, right? If I ask a Chinese man, what's your nationality? He can tell me. He can go back through his history, his family's history, and tell me who he is. But with us, it's not like that. We think we moons, Belize. Our brothers that live in Belize are from the tribe of Zebulon. Belize means muddy waters. Are they muddy waters in Belize? See how that don't make no sense? Listen to what the Bible says.
Job chapter 8, verse 8. For eat, I pray, of the former age.
So it says, inquire of the former age. We have a history that predates us getting off the slave ships, or that predates us being conquered by the Spanish. Because that's what they call them, right? The conquistadors, means the conquerors. Isn't that what they call them? Why do they call them the conquerors, Sebastian? Because our brothers in South America, they came and conquered them. They stole the land, all of the resources, the gold, the diamonds, was the Jews. They stole the women, so they called them conquistadors, meaning conquerors. And we can read about that history in the Bible. Did you know that? Did you know that your history is in the Bible? Did you know that your history is in the Bible? All of the prophets in the Bible, Sebastian, when you read, their skin complexion was like ours. What? Did you know that? You don't believe me, do you? You probably think the people in the Bible was a bunch of white people the way you see on TV. No? Well, where can I read in the Bible that the people of the Bible were melanated people like us? Christian, where you going? Walk around for what though? What are you going to learn today that's more important than your history? What you out here to see what girls out here, see what foods you can eat? I've been your age before. I know what happened in events like this. Bear with us a little while longer so you can know who you are. Anything out here today is not going to be righteous, bro. It ain't gonna be to no benefit to you. Trust me. We got an older brother right here. He don't live this life. He don't been through it. So he can tell you the same thing. Am I lying, Johnny? Ain't nothing out here. Today's the Sabbath day. This is what we as a people don't know. Today is one of God's holidays. And we don't even know how to keep it. We don't even know what it is. But today is one of God's holidays that we were commanded by God to keep. Right. But because Cinco de Mayo, which is not a real holiday, what do people do on Cinco de Mayo? Right. Somebody, is that what happened? Is that what happened, Sebastian? So is this really a holiday that God wants us to celebrate? Or do we just use this as an excuse to get drunk, have unprotected sex, unlawful sex, right? Smoke, do drugs? That's what Cinco de Mayo is about. For us to sell things. Today is God's Sabbath. We're not supposed to be buying or selling today. We're not supposed to be working. But we don't know that because we don't know who we are as a people. So listen to what the Bible says again, Christian. Read it again.
Job.
8:8. Job 8:8.
Job chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
So God says we have to inquire of the former age. Meaning we should be concerned about who we were as a people hundreds of years ago. Because if you don't know where you, how does the phrase go? You don't know where you're going. If you know where you come from, you know where you're going. Meaning we as a people, we don't have any direction of who we are. We've lost our entire heritage. But the other nations on the earth, they know who they are. Read on.
And prepare thyself to the search of
what?
To the search.
So it says, prepare yourself. How you doing, sis? Come here, come here. It says, prepare yourself to the search of your fathers. Name some of your forefathers, Sebastian. Do you know? How you doing, sis? Can you name some of your forefathers? What about you, Johnny? What about you, Christian? Name some of your forefathers. The Bible says to prepare yourself to the search of your fathers. Right. Name some of our forefathers. Say it again. Watch this. Very good question. Johnny, Sebastian, name some of the forefathers of America. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. We know those people, but those are not our forefathers. Those are what we call today white people. The Bible calls them Edomites. So the Bible says prepare your mind for the search of your fathers. You know who our fathers are, sis? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Peter, Paul. The Bible describes them, those men, as looking the way we look. Did you know that? We are those people. Watch this. Give me the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 7.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7.
Genesis 2 and 7.
And the Lord formed man of the dust of the ground.
So Adam, Sebastian, it said he was made from the dust of the ground. Adam, right? Now my question is, if Adam was made from the dust of the ground, what color is dirt, sis? Brown. You agree? You agree? You agree, the dirt is brown. So if Adam was made from the dust of the ground, what color was Adam? Say it again, Sebastian. Brown, like us. He was brown like us. Now watch this, Sebastian. A lot of times we come out and teach, and it's a stumbling block for our Hispanic brothers to understand or accept what we're saying, because amongst us, you have a plethora of skin colors. Meaning you have some of our brothers that's our complexion, right? And then you have some of us that's a little lighter. But the Bible speaks about that. Hosea 7 and 8. The Bible speaks about why it's like that. But when we go to Colombia, Panama, Mexico, there's people in these countries whose skin color is as dark as mine or darker. And they speak Spanish. But we are the same people.
Right.
And what happens is, when you watch TV, they only show the lighter skinned ones. You got it?
Yes, sir. Read. Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. Ephraim, he has mixed himself among the people.
When you read the Bible, Sebastian, the tribe of Ephraim, where is that? The tribe of Ephraim would be considered the Puerto Ricans today. When you read the biblical prophecies on Ephraim, it tells us that he would be considered the Puerto Ricans today. But in context, Ephraim was the head tribe of these tribes. So when it says Ephraim, it's speaking about all of them. You understand what I'm saying? When you read the Bible and it says Judah, sometimes contextually it's speaking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You understand? So listen to what it says again. Read.
Ephraim, he has mixed himself among the people.
God says our Spanish brothers have mixed themselves amongst the people, meaning interracial marriages. And what happened as a result of that? Read.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
And because he's mixed himself amongst the people, he's a cake not turned. What does God mean by that? Because God speaks in similitudes. He said Ephraim is a cake not turned. If I cook a pancake on the stove and I leave it on one side for too long, what happens? One side is darker than the other side, right? So God is saying that the kingdom of Ephraim, because they mix themselves amongst the people, some of them are very light-skinned, but there's a portion of them also that's very dark-skinned. And you know about that the group of us that's more dark-skinned, right? You're from Mexico, right? So you know firsthand. But I didn't find out these things, Sebastian, until we actually went to these places.
Right.
Saw people walking around that look more like this kingdom here. But as you can see, Israel, who was a man in the Bible, he had 12 sons, and from those 12 sons come us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
So Ephraim is the cake not turned. Now watch this. If Adam was black, if Job was black, if Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Peter, Paul, John, Hosea, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Hosea, Zerubbabel, if all of those men looked like us, Sebastian, and they were black like us, brown like us, my question would be then, what happened to these great people that we speak of in the Bible? What do you think, bro? What happened to them as people? Because when you read the New Testament, you read the New Testament before? When you read the New Testament, you can read about the Romans, can't you? Today, who are the Romans? What do we call them today? Huh? Say it again? You say ugly? Catholic. Okay, the Romans today would be white people. The Greeks today would be white people, right? Do you agree? The Romans were white. Do you agree? When you watch the movies about the Spartans and so on and so forth, right? Not the best example, but what color are they? That's those same people. You with me? So here's my question. What happened to those people? We can read about the Arab people in the Bible. We know who they are today. We can read about the Chinese people in the Bible. We know who they are today. Who are we in the Bible? That's my question. All right, that's fine. Have a go, Sebastian. Who are we in the Bible, Johnny? God's people. Okay, what happened to us? Because we can see the color of the people. But what happened to those people? Come back up, though. I was about to give that to you before we got through there. They died? Okay, well, we're going to review or show you what happened to those people.
What is a nation?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.